This is Natural Powerlifting Radio. Deadlifts, chicken nuggets, video games. This is Check My Total, a powerlifting podcast with Timothy Payne and Andrew Hinson.
Welcome everybody to another episode. It's episode 50, y'all. We made it 50 episodes, 5-0. And today we got a special guest. He is a NC Street Sports and Powerlifting Hall of Famer. He is a 275-pound elite status holder in Iron Boy Powerlifting. We got Mr. Michael Belk with us. And you know, we got Andrew here too.
What's going on?
Oh, nothing much. Trying to stay dry down here.
Yeah, it's raining a lot here too.
It's raining pretty good down here.
What's
going on?
It pretty much
right?
just, yeah, we're doing good. But that rain pretty much just came out of nowhere because it was actually kind of pretty this morning.
Yeah, it's been dry pretty much all day. It just started raining here probably about 5:30ish.
Yeah.
45. It just started.
Well, your family doing good?
Yeah, I'm actually at lacrosse practice now, sitting in the truck while they had their practicing in the rain.
Okay.
So y'all getting ready for this next meet here in April?
Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be a big one too.
Yeah, I know. There's some guys at the Y. A lot of guys at the Y that say that they're going to compete. So we'll see. You know, a lot of times the people say they come until it's time to show up, but there's a lot of guys, quite a few guys at the Y that they're coming. And I got a couple guys working out with me said they may come. Like I said, it's probably a game day decision for them too. But
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it. Been training pretty hard and trying to get ready for it.
So you're going on a bench?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I've been training pretty hard the last 4 weeks, I guess. I guess I got 3 more weeks to go. So we're going to see if I can hit a PR.
What you been doing in your training?
The biggest thing I've been doing, I guess, is trying to hit some heavy board presses. Just kind of, I guess, overload. I'm trying to go a little heavier than I normally would go, and just get my confidence and everything up, and get used to handling this, big weight.
I listened to the podcast y'all did back in December, earlier today, and you kind of said that you were doing the same thing back then too. Some more chains and board presses.
Yeah, I hadn't done the chains in a couple of weeks, but I have been doing the heavy board presses. It's one of my favorite movements, I guess. It allows me to go a little heavier and control the weight through probably about 90% range of motion. I like the feel of it.
And you're hitting those triceps good too.
Yeah.
Doing that top end stuff.
Yeah, that's probably my weakest area, I guess, is the finish. And so hopefully work on that a little bit more. Like I said, we got 3 more weeks. So
is your son gonna live?
I think he is. He made me he issued me a challenge that he's gonna hit a PR, and I was supposed to hit a PR. So we're gonna see if he stays true to his word.
Okay.
But we work out together a little bit still here and there. It's kind of tough with him playing lacrosse. They practice about every day, except Fridays and the weekends. But so we'll see. He's getting stronger.
How old is he?
Getting stronger. 14.
Oh, he's 14. I think that's when I started listening.
He turned 14 first of the year.
Wow.
And
is he in high school now, or?
No, he's still in middle school.
Okay.
Still in eighth grader. Yeah, be in high school next year. Getting ready for high school football. So that's gonna be a little different.
Are you ready for the high school life? You ready to take the deal with all the high school problems?
Well, I think middle school might be a little worse.
It probably is.
Yeah, I think middle school might be a little worse. But I guess the thing about it now is getting close to the driving age and he started thinking about all that driver's license and vehicles and all that stuff. So I don't know if I'm quite ready for all that just yet.
And girls and
got a
all that
little
mess
bit.
too.
Yeah, girls. I can deal with that a little better, but that middle school, that's a tough time. Middle school kids tend to be very, very mean sometimes.
That's true.
But middle school kids can be real mean. But it's the last year. I guess we're coming down around the home stretch. Don't have but a couple more weeks of middle school. I mean, a couple more months of middle school, and it'll be a wrap. So on to high
this
school.
year, I know for me at least, this year has flown by real fast.
Yeah.
Which I always still base the year off of a school year, like August to June.
Yeah, I guess it's coming up on May, so it'll be over real soon. A couple more months, April, May, and the 1st of June, they're done. But but getting back to that April meet, like I said, we've really been putting a lot of effort into it and a lot of hard training. So we hope it all pays off. Looking to have a very good meet.
What are you looking to hit for your PRs?
Well, my goal is still 600. That's really what I'm working toward. I think my best lift in the 275 class is 580. So that's one of my first goals, is to beat the 580, and then do 600. And if any way possible, I think if I checked it correctly, I think the American record is 612. I think raw and drug free. Then I think the national record, I think it's 617. So that's in the back of my mind too.
Yeah.
But I like to say my first goal is to beat the 580 and then get 600 on the board. It's eluded me for a long time. I should have gotten a long time ago. But that's one of my biggest goals, to get 600 pounds raw.
What a massive bench press. That's
raw and drug free too.
Raw, drug free,
yeah.
Benching close to 600, hoping to hit 600 in April. That's nuts.
Dad and I have been working on these top 10 lists, and like you said, for the 275 in Iron Boy, you got that 580, but then in the 308 you got that 590. And man, I remember that competition like it was yesterday. I want to say Michael Neal was there too, and y'all were kind of battling it out for the top bench press of the day. But what kills me about that meet is you did 590 on your third attempt, and then because we were still doing fourth attempts back then, you went for 600 on your fourth and got it, like 4 or 5 inches away from the lockout and missed it. So it's always like, if you went for it on your third, I think you would have got that 600 pounds.
You know what? I remember that day, and I just kind of showed up at the meet to help another lift out, and wasn't really planning on lifting, and didn't make weight that day, and actually had my best bench press of all time. So, like I said, I believe I should have gotten it a long time ago, but you know how some of those numbers just kind of play in your head. And I think that's a number that's kind of played in my head for a number of years. And so now is the time, no time like the present. I'm getting older now and just trying to hold on. And so I really need to hit it at this meet. But
600 pounds is impressive by itself, but to do it at 46, that's even more impressive.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. So we really looking forward to the contest and believing for great things.
Oh yeah, definitely. And for all the listeners that check my total that don't know you that well, I mean you've hit elite in what, 2 weight classes? Is that correct, or is it more than that?
No, just in the one weight class.
275.
The 275. 275. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay, sorry. Oh, I was looking at the wrong one. Yeah, you put 275, and I think that was a 1940 total.
Yeah, I've done a couple meets. I think I did 1940, maybe a 1900. I know I hit a couple 1845s, a couple 1850s, or something like that.
Yeah, I pulled up this one on Iron Boy, man. 1940 with a 700 squat, a 560 bench, and a 680 deadlift. Man.
Yeah,
That's
that
crazy.
was at the meet at the mall down in Cleveland County, down in Shelby. And yeah, I remember that meet. That was a fun meet. Had a lot of good lifting that day. A lot of good lifting that day.
I don't know if it was that meet or the meet we did after that, but Chip Martin, that was his first meet.
I think it was that one, Chip, and I think his buddy Clint, and there was another guy that had a nice squat there, Anderson. I don't think I've ever seen him again. And I think Buddy Nichols had a good meet that day. We had a lot of good lifts that day.
Well, yeah, Andrew, you missed all that. We were set up in the middle of the mall, like near the food court.
Wait, which mall?
Shelby, right?
Cleveland, yeah, Shelby Mall, Cleveland County.
Out near where Rob lives.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess,
man,
Tim, you must have been, what, 12 or 13, 10 years old?
It was back in 2006.
Yeah.
So, man, yeah, I would have been, what, 5? I would have been 9 years old, I think, 9 or 10.
You didn't even know what powerlifting was.
No, I've been 10. I would have been 10 years old, I think. No, maybe 11. Yeah, I would have been 11. Yeah, so I guess that puts T-Payne at what? What are you, 2 years? You got 3 years? No, 2 years on me.
Yeah, I was 12 or 13. So it was a full power meet. So I'd like do my squat and then like run around through the mall, come back, do my bench press, go run around through the mall some more.
Yeah, we've had some really good meets throughout the years. I have always enjoyed doing the Iron Boy meets. I guess that's why I just kind of stuck with it. I mean, there's a lot of federations out there, and a lot of good federations too. But there's just something special about the Iron Boy to me. The people, the contest, the judging. You know, it's strict, but it's not overly strict. I mean, you know, you still get a lot of good lifts, quality lifts, I would say, in the federation. I mean, I see some lifts and, you know, some that's a little questionable, but usually with the Iron Boy, if you get a lift in the Iron Boy, it's a good lift. And I can appreciate that.
Well, we appreciate those words. I know you like to get on me about my red lights.
Yeah, you one of the tough ones. I will say that, but I mean it's all good. But you know it gives the federation credibility too when you have, you know, good solid judging. I see some federations with some super high squats, and I just, you know, like I said, I'm not the type to criticize other lifters in other federations. That's not me. But I mean, I do see some lifts that's, you know, a little questionable, and some pauses on the bench. You'd be like, well, that really wasn't a pause, but you know, to each his own. And you know, I think, you know, we can just show love, but we don't have to criticize everything. But
right, and you can't really blame that on the lifters either, because if you know you can get away with a high squat, then of course everybody's going to cut it high. I know I would. That's just part of being
like
competitive.
I'm not blaming the lifter or anything like that. And like I say, to each his own. I'm not the one to criticize every little thing. But you know what I was saying is, you know, when you're in the federation and you have solid judging and, you know, solid lifts, it kind of gives you a little more sense of pride and appreciation. That's what I'm saying. I mean, like I say, once again, I'm not bashing any other federation or any other lift or anything like that. It's just, you know,
Yes, sir.
I
I understand.
that wouldn't have passed in my federation. Yeah, in the federation we live in, that lift wouldn't have counted. But like I say, I don't get online on Facebook or anything like that and bashing lifters and criticizing.
I know we've spoke about it a million times before, but powerlifting, you're competing against yourself anyway, for the most part.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it most of the time. I mean, even if it's somebody in your class, for me, most of the time I try to set my numbers before I get to the meet and play it over in my head. And I usually stick to with my numbers, pretty much no matter what's going on around me at the meet. And that's what works for me. Because if you start getting caught up in what other people are doing, and I mean, it messes me up. I can't function like that. I mean, I have to stick to my plan.
Oh yeah,
that's what works for me.
This 617 bench press. What federation is that?
I don't know. I was just on Powerlifting Watch, and
okay.
I think that they got a list of all the records, and if I remember correctly, it may have been a Russian guy that did that. I'm not 100% sure, and I think the American record was 612. But that's just what I found on Powerlifting Watch.
I was just wondering where you would have to go to get the record.
Yeah, if you go to Powerlifting Watch.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm pulling it up. So yeah, what do you got? Is it men's raw American records or world records?
I think it's all of it together. I think.
I think I'm in the right section. So it says under world records, it says bench press full meet is at the 275 class is 650 by Ted Arcidi.
Yeah, if you keep going on down, you're gonna get down to the drug tested.
Drug
record.
tested. Here we go. Okay. Oh yeah. Here it is. In the drug tested division, yeah, it's the bench press for the world record is 275 is 617 by Laszlo Mezaros, Hungary, 2009 AWPC, whatever AWPC is.
I guess world. I don't know what that stands for.
I'm gonna look at
I think that's the world.
AWPC powerlifting. What does it stand for? Yeah, it's European. Yeah, it's some European federation. It's definitely not America. All right, 617.
So, but I think the American record. If you go back to the American record, I think it's 612.
612. Let's see. Let me scroll down to drug tested. Yep, it's 612 by a dude named Ryan DeWitt at AAU.
Well, the way you looked back at the Christmas Classic in December, I think you can give it a good run.
Yeah, I've been watching that video, and I felt pretty good. That 575 was a little heavy, but I'm hoping to, like I said, just to at least be able to go for that American record on my third attempt. That's my goal, and that's kind of what I'm working to. Maybe to do 600 on my second attempt. Just trying to get my mind right and my confidence up, because for me that's a lot of it, just confidence. And I'm of course working out too, but and training. But confidence is a big one for me. And
yeah, definitely. So what do you do for like do you have a mental state you get in before you lift? Do you have any like special thing you think of?
No, I just try to throughout my training, I just try to build up each week, and just try to do a little better each week, and just kind of get used to handling the weight, and try to get physically and mentally comfortable with the weight. That's my biggest thing. Sometimes I can be, I guess, a bundle of nerves. So I try to get where I can relax and not necessarily be so nervous, because I have psyched myself out of some competitions, and so I try to be right in the middle. Where you're not too relaxed and you're not too nervous and too worked up.
Yeah.
So that's usually why I try to kind of, just be in the middle, focus on what I'm doing. Not a big rah-rah guy, but sometimes I can get worked up a little bit, and so like I said, I just try to kind of be steady.
Gotcha. Yeah. Have a level head. Just kind of. I mean, you did all the training stuff. You know what you need to do.
Yeah.
You got to go in and do
But
it.
you try not to come in. You try not to come in flat and too relaxed. But you kind of like for me, I like to get worked up more on the inside than on the outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like to get just get focused and like I say, just get riled up on the inside more so than kicking over tables and all that. But,
I'm guessing
get
you've
focused
touched
get
and go
focused.
600 before.
Yeah. I did that years ago. And
Okay.
like I said, I just
So you
get
know
to
what
the
it
meet.
feels like.
Yeah, and get to the meet and just choke, I guess you can say, for lack of a better word. But so that's what I'm working on now. Just
pausing's
trying
a whole
to
different ball game.
yeah. But sometimes I actually do a little better with the pause because I control the weight better. And so that's something else I'm just working on. The pause can be intimidating, though. But like I said, sometimes I pause just as good as I touch and go. So we're gonna be ready.
Yeah, I've never really thought about that before. The pause forcing you to, like stay tighter and more under control.
It does for me. And like I said, I think that's one thing that helps me with the boards because it allows me to stay tight through the whole range of motion on the negative. And it allows you to load up and really put a lot into your press.
Hey, so what's your training kind of look like now? Are you training like year round? Are you on a maintenance thing, or like how is it now that you're older and you've got more experience under the belt? You know what you're doing. How's your training kind of look?
I guess my training is I've been watching a lot of videos and people talk about off season and deload and I guess I still got a old school type of training. Just go hard as long as you can, which I know that may not be the smartest the way to do it. But what I do now, I do try to listen to my body a little bit more. A few more aches and pains, so you do have to tone it down sometime, a lot of times. And but here lately, I just I try to find me a good starting place, something I can build on. So maybe I might start off at a one rep set of 550, and then maybe just try to add 10 pounds each week, and just kind of try to get a running start into my training and just slowly build up my confidence. And that's kind of what I'm doing now. Just like I started off with I think the first week I might have did 560 and 580 off the one board. Then I came back the next week and did 570 and 600 off the one board. Then this past week I did 580 and 610 off the one board. So that's just kind of where I just try to just build up each week. Like I said, build up mentally and physically as I go along. I guess where I do a few more reps on lightweight now than I used to.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's basically about it. And then I try to throw in some other exercises, some incline, and some weighted dips, and some chains and board presses, and just trying to keep it fresh and shock my muscle a little bit at the same time. And like I said, just kind of just building up my confidence.
Yeah.
But about 8 weeks out is when you start focusing on the meet.
Yeah, it'll be about 8 weeks because I probably started, I guess, maybe about the end of February, 1st of March. So I figure about 7-8 weeks is about all I can stand of heavy lifting every week, and so that's what I just start from. Like I say, try to find me a good starting place, a conservative starting place, and then I try to pace myself where I peak at the. Even some weeks I might try to hold back a little bit just so I don't peak too early, which is hard for me. When you're feeling good, you want to keep going, but I try to pace myself out and where I peak at the right time.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to time sometimes. You know, there's a lot of people that peak a week before the competition. It's tough.
Yeah. Or a week after. The week
Yeah, that's
after.
true. That happens a lot. A lot of people go to a competition, don't do that great, then 1 week later they hit like 9 PRs. Like they just missed the time.
Yeah, I've done that before, but I know throughout the years, I don't do it as much now with my schedule and my body probably can't take it like I used to. But I used to find me a meet about every month to go do touch and go. You don't see many touch and go meets anymore, but I used to find me a meet to do about every month. I was doing a meet every month, but I would do a meet and I'd be right back in the gym, work out the next week, and I work out all week, do a meet that Saturday, come back the next week and bench it again, and which I know I can't really stand that type of abuse now though, but that's why I used to do it. So I peaked whenever, and I just did every meet. I did every meet I could do. If it was one within a 30-mile radius, I was doing it.
Hey, do it while you can, though.
That was my philosophy, and
Gotta do it while you're young. That way, hey, you might have a couple aches and bruises now, but hey, you lived it up.
that's a good way to look at it.
Have you ever
I
had any major injuries?
No. I guess the only major injury I had is I kind of threw my back out, and it really killed my squat and deadlift. But I mean, no surgery or anything like that. Just just stiffness and pain when I squat and deadlift. But
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing because I really enjoy squatting and deadlifting and doing full power meets. Like I said, when I threw my back out or whatever I did to it, I thought maybe just time would heal it up, and hadn't quite been the case. But so it really eliminated my squat and deadlift. But other than that, no, just a few aches here and there. And, my shoulder right now it's tender, but it's been tender for the last couple of years, and I just kind of work through it and avoid certain exercises and certain movements. And but long as, like on my bench, as long as I warm it up good and stay in the groove, it's usually pretty good. But any little slight deviation, yeah, my shoulder it's a little tender. But I'm still hanging on. But
I'd say so. Coming close to a 600-pound bench when you're 46.
it's still hanging on. But
Yeah, it's a blessing you escaped college football without getting torn up.
yeah, I came out of college football. Just my worst injury might have been a sprained ankle.
That's pretty darn good.
Back when I played, I might have got a concussion and just didn't know it. But
they didn't call them concussions back then. They just called it a hard hit.
No, it was hit hard as you can, and some people would have got diagnosed with concussions, but not like now. Where every little thing is a concussion. But
Yeah.
when I was playing, yeah, you heard about it, but it wasn't. It wasn't. It was more smash my football. Now it's a lot more protected, and you can't hit defensive receivers. When I was playing, you was waiting on the defensive receiver to come across the middle, and so which I guess that's good in a lot of ways. I mean, the way the athletes built now, they really hurt each other. But I've really been blessed. Thank the Lord for that. Keeping me healthy as much as I am, because I know a lot of guys that used to lift with me, they're not lifting now. So it's truly a blessing to still be an active lifter.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yeah, definitely. So, do you do any squatting or deadlifting, like just like maybe not like for competition, but just to kind of, I don't know, just keep things moving, or is it just too much pain?
No, I do. The pain really don't start till I get you know, 400 pounds on my squat and all that stuff. But yeah, I can squat 225 and 315. I mean, I still do that.
Okay.
And I was actually I started me a squatting cycle and squatted for about a month straight and was working up to 405 and got sidetracked. So I've missed 2 weeks and probably gonna miss this week too because I got a lacrosse game to go to. So yeah, I still squat some. I hadn't deadlifted much. But I did do a deadlift. I don't know. It's been 4 or 5 years ago, but I didn't do a whole lot. I think I did 455 or something like that. But, at a meeting in Belmont. So I was hoping to get both of them up to about 500 and maybe do another full meet. That was kind of my goal. I hadn't gave up on it yet. So maybe by nationals, I can have my squat and deadlift up to at least 500 so I can compete.
Well, hey, you know we got these Master Elite numbers now.
Yeah, I might have to check those out and see exactly what they are. And maybe that's something I can shoot for.
Oh yeah.
I'd be able to get at least 1,300, 1,400. And which I mean I know that's not a whole lot, but I have to see what the numbers are. See if I can even get close.
I'm sure you could. My goodness, you just throw up a 600-pound bench. What else you gotta do? It's like a
Yeah, with 2/3 of your totals in your bench press.
Yeah, like I said.
I remember. You probably don't even remember this, but like I was talking to Timmy before we called you, and I remember I was 15 or 16, and I had to lift off for you at some competition, and it was inside, but I can't remember what gym it was at or what. It was one of the first competitions I think I helped Keith and Timmy set up for, and it was like I forgot the gym's name, but it was in this back room, and like we had to move a bunch of like treadmills and like bikes and like a lat pull down or something, and like I just remember that you were attempting like I don't know something in the 580 zone, and Keith was like, "Hey Andrew, you can lift off for him." And I was like, "Oh gosh!" I was like, "I don't even think I could deadlift. Like, I might have been able to deadlift 500, then maybe." And I'm over here like lifting off 580 something for you. I highly doubt I did anything, and I'm pretty sure you just unracked it. But I still remember that. That was something else.
I remember that. I don't know where we were at, but I remember. I appreciate that. I remember that. We were, I don't know if we were in Belmont or, I don't know where we were at. But I remember, we recruited you. Put you to work.
Yeah, I was like, oh, gosh. I had to put everything I had into that.
Hey, this full power elite for the 45 to 49 is 1550.
Oh, 15.
That's kind of up there.
Yeah, that's pretty ambitious. That's not too bad. 5'5" and 550. So yeah, that'd be a good goal to work toward.
Yeah. See, if you bench 6, then you only have to squat 4.
Yeah. So 5, 5, and 5. That put me right there.
Yep.
So that might be something to shoot for national.
Oh yeah. Hey man, that would be great. Have to put Andrew on a plane to come lift off for you.
Yeah, I gotta get on the plane. I gotta come to national. I'm trying to get my back better to where I can at least do something. I would like to at least deadlift, but we'll see. My back still hasn't really gotten a whole lot better. I don't know how I injured it. I did something to it.
Yeah,
I feel you on the back pain, Michael. I feel you.
Yeah, it's that back is real fragile. I mean, it takes a lot of abuse, but I just wasn't very smart, just training heavy, had just done a contest and came back in the gym working out either that same week or the week after, and didn't listen to the warning signs, and it just hadn't been right since.
It's amazing how much abuse and power your back can take, but man, once it goes, man, it goes.
I know, and I've been nursing it and stretching and chiropractic and hadn't quite seen got the answer yet. But
yeah,
you know,
hey,
some days it
at
feels
least
really
I hit
good.
elite. At least I hit elite, you know. And then I can take my time getting back. I can take my time getting back.
And you're still young too, so you can take your time, take care of yourself, and
yeah, that's true.
And give yourself time to recoup and just get it back together.
Yeah. Plus, you know, I challenged. I told Don Craig that I will pull sumo hook grip in October if my back can take it. So I've never done sumo and I've never done hook grip, so I'm working on it right now.
Yeah,
you ever messed around with any of that, Mr. Belk?
Not seriously, just on some lighter set. I think the biggest thing was just a little bit of flexibility. The flexibility was a little issue that I didn't stick with it long enough to get my hips and hammies stretched out enough where I can be effective. But that probably would really be a good style for to help out on your lower back, especially mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention, especially if you squat it, because that's kind of what a sumo is you're squatting it. You're not really pulling it like you are in conventional. You know, it, like you said, it takes all of that out of your lower back.
Yeah, something I need to work on. That'd probably be an effective technique for me.
But you're right though, getting those hips loose, that's the thing.
Yeah, and mine wasn't very loose. So.
Well, Andrew, do you want to explain what the game is we play on our podcast?
Yeah. We play this game called White Light, Red Light, and it's basically we'll ask you yes or no questions, or at least I'll try. I jack it up all the time, and you'll basically, if you agree, you'll say white light, and you'll kind of tell us why, and if you disagree, you'll say red light, and you'll tell us why. And this is a special edition because this is going to be the Check My Totals first marriage edition of White Light, Red Light, because I'm about to get married in 4 weeks, something like that.
Ooh.
I don't know. So we're going to go through this and we'll see what happens. But all right. First one is white light, red light. No, that's not a yes or no question. Never mind. I was going to ask you who cooks dinner, but that's not a yes or no question. Okay. Oh, I don't know how to do it. White light, red light. Laundry? Who does the laundry? Just like.
let's just play it regular, and then you can ask your marriage questions.
Okay. All right, we're going to redo it. All right, white light, red light, sniffing ammonia.
Oh, I guess white light. I haven't done it a whole lot, but I see a lot of guys doing it. It seems to be somewhat effective.
I don't think I've ever seen you do it.
I've done it on a rare occasion, but I think I've done it on rare occasions, but yeah, I see a lot. I don't really. I want to say I did it before, but I can't really recollect when I did do it. I don't know. It may have been a touch and go meet somewhere.
Yeah.
One of those weekly meets you did. Oh man, that's funny. Hey, are you sniffing ammonia in April?
Somebody bring some. I probably will.
Hey, I'm sure you can find somebody.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, I think I got another one.
All right, I got one too. So, white light, red light, being the away team while you're playing football.
Being the away team,
Yes, sir.
white light. Well, a lot of times when you're playing away, especially in college, you get an opportunity to get away from the campus and you can focus more on the game. You don't have any distractions. You're at the hotel room. You're on the practice field. And, sometimes at the home game, you have a few more distractions.
Yeah, that makes sense.
White light, red light, training with your son.
White light.
All right.
I guess we always grew up in a close-knit family. My dad, my sisters, my mom, my brother, all of us. And for me, it just gives me a good opportunity to try to pour in some good ethics, work ethics, and good habits, and gives us a chance to talk and maybe impart some fatherly wisdom while we're working out.
There you go.
And it's something I'm passionate about too. So it helps. It helps to have somebody close to you that you can kind of show them something that you love and hope that they love it as much as you do. That's a good motivator for me, and hopefully for him too.
Yeah. Who knows? He might be benching 600 one day.
Yes, sir. And and for me also, I think working out gives you a chance to learn how to persevere and overcome obstacles and set goals, and that you can use in other aspects of life. When the going gets tough, the weights get heavy. I mean, for me, I can apply a lot of the principles in other areas of my life. And that's the same thing I try to, we had a running joke when I used to work out with when I had, a bunch of us working out, and, my thing was, if you quit in here, you'll quit your job, you'll quit your wife, you'll quit your car payment. I just throw all kind of things out like that. And, so for me, it was just a way of motivating myself and others around me not to quit, not to give up, even when it's tough. Makes a difference for me.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Yeah, I agree 100% with all that. Red light, white light, doing curls in the squat rack.
That's a white light. Cause I don't
White light.
I don't squat like I used
to. You're like, oh, I'm done squatting. My back hurts. I'm going to curl.
Yeah, so and a lot of times too, I do well, not as much as I used to, but I used to do a lot of heavy cheek curls. So you almost need, a squat rack. Now, if somebody's squatting, I am courteous enough to take a back seat and let them have it. Instead of taking up a squat rack doing curls. But if nobody's using it, nobody's around, I do my curls in the squat rack. But if somebody's wanting to squat, I'll take a back seat. And I do curls in the squat rack.
The truth comes out.
That's how you do it. The truth is out. Oh, that's funny.
Yes, sir. But you gotta be curling. You gotta be curling heavy though.
How much were you doing for your cheek curls?
I probably went as heavy as 185, 205. It's been a long time.
Oh, gosh.
I hadn't been doing a whole lot of curls, but normally I would I go about 135 for sets of 8.
Dang.
But,
getting it pretty good.
I hadn't been on a whole lot of those lately, but when I was doing them, that's how we used to do them.
I guess that concludes the first marriage, white light, red light.
That had nothing to do with marriage.
Had nothing to do with marriage. I tried. But hey, I really do. I need some marriage advice. So, like, What's your what's your first thing that pops to your mind when someone says marriage advice? What kind of words of wisdom you got for me?
Well, the tough thing about marriage advice is, what works for one person might not always work for another. But what
That's
I will
true.
say, kind of as a general rule of thumb is you need to be considerate, and you need to establish your role in the marriage. What do you want? Do you want a traditional marriage? Then I think you also have to, like I said, be very considerate. And from a man's standpoint, it's kind of hard, but because what's important to a man is not necessarily important to a woman, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So just kind of know what's important to her, kind of know what makes her feel good, and then just try to do some of those things. Just like with my wife, she liked to go out to eat, and for me, I can eat at home, but sometimes you just have to put yourself aside and just kind of think about, well, what will make me, what can I do to make her day today, and just be considerate. Always think about the consequence of your actions. If I do this, how's she gonna feel? And be honest and open, and don't be underhanded and sneaky and doing things behind each other's back, and because that's not good. I mean, you'll kill your trust, and so you want to be a trustworthy person. You want to be no matter where you at, no matter who you with, you want to be integrity, and you want her to not have to worry about, well, he's not here, I can't see him. What is he doing? I mean, you don't want to have to worry about that. I don't know where he at. He hadn't called me, but I know he's somewhere doing what he's supposed to be doing. And I think that for me, that goes a long way. I mean, because I don't have time to be checking up on you, worried about where you're at and what you're doing, who you're doing it with. So I mean, I think being trustworthy, honest, considerate, being responsible. A lot of people are not responsible, but being responsible. I mean, we're adults now, so like I used to tell my wife, don't spend your bill money. Make sure your bills are paid. And that eases a lot of pressure. When the bill man called in the house and you want to go shopping to buy a pair of shoes, and you hadn't paid the car payment. So my thing is take care of the business first, and then let other things fall in place.
Yeah.
But just love each other, be respectful, be considerate and kind-hearted, and that'll get you a long way. And like I say, be trustworthy. Be dependable. That means a whole lot.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree 100% with all that. We talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about roles and stuff. People might think it's funny, but it's kind of nice to have roles to be like, oh well, I'm probably responsible for taking out the trash or like taking care of the lawn or something, and things like that.
Yeah.
And
and I'm a little older than y'all, and so I'm a lot more traditional. I know the traditional is kind of fading, but I mean I think a lot of times nothing beats the old time way in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But my thing too is if you're you might not fit into the traditional marriage on every aspect. So my thing is if you're good at one thing that's maybe not traditional, you're a good cook, then cook. You know what I mean? If you're good with she's good with paying bills, let her pay the bills. My thing too is I try to stop stuff before it becomes a problem. So if you're not good with paying bills, don't mess it up. Say, what, I'm no good at paying these bills. You might want to handle that, or vice versa, whatever the case may be. But I try to just it's best if it never becomes a problem. It's a lot easier to solve if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I think you're right.
Just like I say, just take your time. Just take your time, love each other, appreciate each other, think about each other before you make a decision, and work together. I mean, that means a lot. And then having a committed mind frame. You know, I was talking to my wife today, and I said, you know, a lot of people just their mindset is, you know, we'll do it as long as we're happy and you know, things work out. So, but I mean, to me, you have to have a more of a long-term mentality. You know, we in it to the end, and you know, one other little quick tidbit is, you know, don't throw up old stuff. You know, what you used to do, and I remember that time when you did this and you did that, and it's, you know, and try not to say things just to be hurtful. You know, a lot of people say stuff just to try to hurt your feelings, and you know, that's not good. I mean, if you say something, mean it, and I mean, don't say stuff you don't mean. And I tell a lot of people, it's a scripture in the Bible. I think it's in Proverbs when it says, you know, tell the truth in love. So a lot of people like to tell you the truth. There's no love in it. So if you're gonna tell the truth in love. You know, I mean, I mean, it's a lot of things you can say. You know, say for example, you're having a bad hair day. You don't have to say, look at your hair, it's all over your head. That don't make sense. You know, you don't have to say it like that. You can just say, well, you know what? Did you look in the mirror? I think you have a little hair. I mean, you know, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
And you know, it's, you know, like I say, tell the truth in love, and just be committed. That's my marriage advice.
Man, that's the best marriage advice we've got on the podcast.
It is.
I like it
agree
though.
with
No,
every single thing,
I
too.
totally agree. I agree with it. And I mean, hey, you've been married a lot longer than I have, so.
Yeah, long time, and it's and then I'll tell you something else too, and I'll let you go. I ain't gonna hold you up, but you know, all that being said, it's still not easy. I mean, to live with somebody and deal with their bad habits, and you know, and on the flip side, they dealing with your bad habits, whether you realize you have them or not. I think that's a lot of times we always think it's the other person, but we have bad habits and shortcomings too. So, you know, that's something I try to remember. I said, well, you know, as bad as she getting on my nerves, I'm probably getting on her nerves just as bad. So, I mean, you know, that kind of helps you stay focused too. So, just like I say, be patient, be considerate, and you know, like I said, it's not always easy. You know, a woman, they hard to please. Sometimes I say that sometimes. Sometimes they don't even know what they want. But you got to know that. You know, as a man, you got to know that, and just you get in Mexican, baby, what you want to eat? I don't know what you want. Well, let's go over and get Mexican. No, I don't want Mexican. Well, let's go to Cracker Barrel. No, I don't want Cracker Barrel. What you want? I don't know. So I mean, it's tough, but you know, if you love each other, you just gotta learn to laugh and stuff like that. And I mean, that's just a woman's nature. So now, not all women. I can't put all women in, you know, but you know, generally speaking.
Yeah.
So it's just
I agree.
It takes time.
I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to start the journey.
Yeah, marriage is a good thing, especially when you marry the right person. And you got to be the right person too. It's not just always like I said, it's not always the other person. And it's a good thing. A lot of good things come out of marriage. Families and two families join together. You getting in-laws, and she's getting in-laws, and now you getting another mother. And I mean, it's just a lot. You know, a lot of good can come out of it. A lot of bad come out of it too.
Oh man, Michael, man, that's funny.
A lot of good come out of it.
Oh man, well, hey, we've enjoyed talking to you, man.
Yes, sir. Y'all take it easy. Have a good night. I thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It's been fun. We'll holler at you later before the
and just like any other Check My Total podcast, we're going to end it on a big one. Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 50 of the Check My Total podcast with Michael Belk. He's coming in April. He's going for the 600-pound bench press. He's been training. He's a monster, and he's going to crush it. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone there. Stay tuned. April 26th, I'm getting married. I'm going to put this marriage advice to work. I hope everyone has a great night. Thank y'all for listening.
We're out of here. Up next is the IBP Tarheel State Powerlifting Championships. in Belmont, North Carolina on April 20th. For more details about the competition, go to ironboypowerlifting.com.
Please subscribe and thank you for listening. Be sure to follow at CheckMyTotal on Instagram for all the latest updates.
Where's GameStop at? You got some money?